Hey, hi Vishnu. Welcome to my podcast, first episode,
Hi, Shwan. Yeah,
touring
I'm
life.
excited.
So Vishnu, just to give
That's
you a
nice.
background of why this podcast, right? So we have multi-billion billionaires, right? When you look at their podcast, right?
Mhm.
So when you are looking at their journey, it is not easy for us to follow because what they are saying is bits and. But if I take successful people now who are actually similar to my journey, or we can just emulate them, and I know for sure
Mhm.
you're going to be super successful, 10x, 100x. So what does it make you successful for now, and what all things you're doing now that will make you successful for coming years? So my audience would be able to relate with that thing, something to their
Mhm.
action items rather than going and searching around and other things, right? So that is what the podcast is for all about.
Okay, nice.
So Vishnu, would you like to talk about yourself?
Yes. So, my name is Vishnu. So, I'm currently working for Google as a software developer. I'm located in Bangalore. So, to tell my story and what I'm doing, so let me give you a brief introduction about what I was and what I became now, and what I'm trying to become within few years or few months. So yeah, so I'm from a small village background. So my father, of course, is educated, but we are into mostly agriculture family. So from the childhood, I used to be very curious, and this curiousness, instead of a kid looking for something new, it projected like a mischief kid. So this kid goes and touches everything, tries to break everything. So so basically, my friends and family, of course, friend circle was fine, but family circle used to keep me far. Of course, so later on, I was put in a hostel. Uh, I was really homesick, lost. Like, why did my parents throw me away? All that. But after joining hostel, I understood. Like, I improved my communication there, and that's where the teachers actually groomed and told, like, he's not mischief, he's curious. So
Correct.
there's a difference between a mischief guy and a
And the
curious guy.
curiosity, yes.
Correct. So mischief people go and try to break things. Curious people try to explore things.
Correct.
Sometimes accidentally they'll break it. It's not intentional.
Correct.
So that's when at least my parents started believing, okay, this guy is not a bad person, kind of. Okay. So then on, life continued. So I was into electrical and electronics, and we did not get a lot of job opportunities back then. Like, I was never an entrepreneur mindset back then. So with the failures that my dad faced and the struggles he's undergoing, he really did not encourage me to become an entrepreneur. I was all job minded, so I joined masters in cloud computing at VIT University. Made research there, even though I'm from AAA background. I don't know anything there, but started learning new things. Everywhere it's a like. Of course, I failed many subjects. In my first semester out of six, I failed four of them, and everyone were
So you have started
like,
building
yeah,
a
they
failure
know this guy
resume.
will not.
You started building a
Correct,
failure
correct.
resume.
Correct. So good thing, like a few teachers came in rescue and they told, "Hey, you're losing here. Maybe you need to do this, all that." So they became good friends. So with their help, actually, I could publish a research article on multi-tenant cloud architecture, which was like, out of all the students in VIT in that batch, only three papers got selected and published in the international journal. So among them, mine is one of them.
Wow.
So a person from absolute full failures to a person who could do this.
I can
And actually
imagine.
that research, yes. And that research is still carried forward by my juniors, and really it is fetching a lot for VIT University itself. And yeah, that's when even I got into Google, and even those people were excited and understood how I'm doing, and they preferred me doing those things, and really I'm enjoying. But what is 9 to 6? So you're born to this, you need to do only this. Even if you don't like, you need to do this. And for my marriage, especially. So I actually wanted 3 weeks of leave, and by hard struggle, I got only 10 days of leave. Even my wife regrets me a lot for this. Even now, we sometimes quarrel because of that. So that's when I decided, okay. the same work, whether you're an entrepreneur or you're in a job, at least for a software guy, it's going to be the same work. So little additional would be talking to little big people, managing part, but rest of the thing it's the same. So I used to work on a customer really. So in that tool also, it can help many people, especially in the industry of insurance sector. So we know, right? There are people from many finance backgrounds who are not able to afford any of the treatments. Correct? Everyone project about life insurance, LIC policies, but what they do, those LIC policies, once you get accident or once you
Those are reactive
lose some part
policies,
of body,
right?
correct, they are reactive policies. Correct, that's a correct term. Uh, but there should be something before that also, right?
Correct.
They to stop you reaching that extreme ends. So that's where the health insurances come. I think in India, except the employee category and that too, the people on the software side are having health insurances that too provided by the company. So now, am I going to keep a health insurance company? Yeah, if I keep one, I can help only one person. But if I keep a implementation company, I can help all the insurance companies, right? So that's when they say the people with the same motive. So that's a big story of mine.
Thanks, Vishnu. Just for our viewers to understand, right? So Vishnu had this multiple phases, right, where he was told that he was not a child, but actually he was a curious child. So and then he went to his higher education, where he was looking for something, but something were not interesting. But what did he do?
Mhm.
He turned around and became the one of the best persons to give best papers. And I understand, Vishnu, when your sub juniors come and talk to you, oh, that was written by you. And that feeling is something else, because
Yeah,
I've seen my sub juniors coming and talking to, oh, you're the Ashwin Shah, which the professors talk about. So that feeling is something else. I completely
that's
agree with
true.
you. And I totally understand when you say that, okay, I got only 10 days for marriage, right? So you will not believe, 3 days before my marriage, I was working on a laptop for like.
Oh, then you know the pain. You,
So fortunately, I got leaves after my marriage, so they covered it up for me. So that was a good thing. So I can totally
to be
relate
frank,
about. So
yeah. Uh,
so Vishnu, I want to also understand. See, what do you think? There were three inflection points in your life made you what you are today, because everyone has an inflection point from where they have an exceptional growth, right? So if you can take three inflection points and tell me, why do you think it is an inflection point, and how did it change your life? Maybe, and what created that inflection point? Maybe those can also help my audience to relate with themselves, and they can use those as those inflection points.
yes. So first one, Ashwin. So the mischief child to curious child. So if I was not put in that boarding school, and if I did not meet the teachers that I met, understood. Yeah. So for me as a child, I don't know whether I need to ask permissions. I should not touch other stuff. Really, I didn't know all that. So they told me all that, but somehow I'm curious. Okay, I just wanted to see that all telling me that you need to do all this. People started blaming you are a mischief guy, and it really drained me a lot. So for anything that I want to do, for any step that I want to take, I used to be very scared back then because my parents got frustrated and they started beating me up. So now I'm afraid of getting beatings. So, array, if I touch something, these people are gonna fail. Uh, so I was really losing my confidence. So there was times like I stopped. Before that, I used to go talk to anyone. If someone is coming on me, right? Rebel nature was there because seeing the support and my parents are there kind of support I had with them. But when they itself started beating me, right, I lost that support and I
Became more
became
defensive.
very depressed.
Yes.
Yes, more depressed. And the moment when they put me in boarding school, right, of course their intention was to correct the child and get him good path. But for me, it's like my parents are throwing me away because I'm mischief. My parents don't want me any longer. So that's what I felt. And for many days, I was crying. And if they are leaving me in the boarding school and going, I was to run till the gate, cry there, and forcefully security people bought me and kept in room. They were like, "We'll see for another 1 or 2 months, and if this guy is same thing, we'll leave." And even my parents were afraid, like, again, this mischief child will be back." So that's when, by God's grace, I got into a science teacher, and she told, "No, he's not a mischief child. He's a curious guy. Let me show what he is." बोल she gave me opportunity. So in the science lab, she made me go and explore everything. She asked me to collect all the acids, bases, these funnels. Only condition she kept is you should not break. If you break anything, I'll not let you into this lab anymore. So I was careful that I don't break anything, but I went everything, and it was curious, and I learned many things there. So a mischief student, and I used to get very low marks back then. But from her support, my confidence again started building. So from a guy who doesn't get any marks to I became a class top 5 student. So by the time I was in boarding school from class fourth, fifth, and by the time I reached my 10th class, I'm the class top 5 student. I'm the whole school head for discipline, and I was the swimming national champion then. So back then, many people doesn't but the support that I got from these people and these teachers were able to tell, see, your kid is not what you think. He's much more than what you actually think. So that's where I got that breakthrough, and that's something that really helped. If that was not the case, I would not be anything else.
I would say the science teacher which believed in you, that was a major turning point for you, right?
Correct.
So I think
Correct. So
when you are
first,
in this situation, because I have also gone through that situation, right? So when you are going through the situation of depressedness, defensive, right? Look for a person who believes in you. He might be nobody, but the belief what
hmm,
he has in you is more than enough for you to crawl the ladder.
correct, correct.
So at
You
times,
just need that watering for you to grow.
correct, correct.
Yeah.
And you should not think that the other person has the capability or not. Doesn't matter. Only thing matters is does the other person believe in you or not. Just talk to itself will give you a lot of confidence to do something.
Yes. Second, it is with respect to education and career. So back then, with my sports quota, I told you as I won bronze medal in nationals. Of course, after that I could not continue because of this corporate and career. So back then, Sri Chaitanya and Narayan institutions, so fully focused on education so that this guy will get good rank and get into some good universities. So rank though I got some decent ranks. It was around some 25, 30,000, but it was not the top universities. Of course, again, my sports quota helped me there, and I got into like back then. Robotics was my dream, and I took triple E. But realized there is no platform, there is no learning areas. Even though when I went for few robotic learning classes, I did not get big ecosystem there. So my robotics dream, that plant did not get water, sufficient water, sunlight, fertilizer, and that plant died. So later, the next best thing after talking to my relatives, friends circle, we understood like computer science is doing good. So why don't I check for latest technology? But it's completely new field. I was never a computer guy. I was never a programming guy, and I don't know anything there. Uh, seriously, I did not believe myself. But my dad was, "That's okay. Just give it a try. Don't worry. You already have a degree. We already have a shop. Max to max, even if you screw it up, we'll come and sit and shop with me. We'll plan for business expansion." So yeah, after coming school and plus two, now I'm not a mischief guy in his mind. I'm a guy who is capable of doing things. He saw my successes. He saw that I reached my class toppers, I reached nationals, I lead people. So he believes me. So he confidence back then he did not trust, but now he gave me a push saying that's okay to fail. Don't worry on that. So I went ahead. I was a bit overconfident in the first semester, so took few things little granted, and it really kicked me back. Out of six, four fat. And I try to hide things, but the worst part these guys just do is they'll email they'll text message the report card to parents. I got lost. So my parents were frustrated. They what did all that. But yeah, even I was scared. But again, there was one teacher. Actually, he this time this Nabibullah Khan. So he helped me out. He told that, hey, I know you're from triple background. I know you don't understand things. And by seeing the magnitude of things that I don't know, I really got scared and pissed off. Oh my God, there's no way like I will learn all of this and no way that I. So that's when he told me the technique of taking one thing at a time, one thing at a time. Don't eat everything at once. You will get constipation. So that technique worked. So we had a schedule. Of course, he teaches algorithms, but he has knowledge and other things also. He became my mentor. He taught me these are the concepts that you need to learn. He helped me till the extent he knows. Other things he used to guide me, like go and search in this form, go and search these books, or he used to guide me, go and search, talk to these teachers, all that. So he was my navigator. He used to help me go here, go here, go here, all that. So with his navigation, by talking to other teachers, I understood back then in cloud computing, there was no load balancing technique that can learn on its own. So that's where I got an idea of genetic algorithm for load balancing. So this is a self-learning algorithm. So today, if it gets an hurt, same like me, if it gets today a hurt, it'll understand where it lost. And again, next day, if some scenario with a hurt kind of motive is coming, it will raise its resources and it will not get hurt.
Got you, got you. So you're talking about 10 years, 15 years before, right? So you're talking two way ahead in life, right? Today we all know about cloud computing and other things, right? But now what you're talking about the load balancing and other things is too long back, right? So you were too forward in your days, if I'm not wrong. Vishnu, if you look at the balancing, right? So that was too far ahead of your age, right? That time, because we are talking about software load balancing, hardware load balancing, route dropping, and other things, right? Geographical load balancing. But what are you talking about
Correct.
15 years back,
Correct.
maybe 13, 15 years back, right? Or
Yes.
more than that. So you were
Correct.
really working on something futuristic. So did you have an idea what you were working on, how you're going to change the world, or it was just you're feeling good about it and you did it? What do you think about
Hmm. To be frank, I did not had any idea on the impact that can create. As a teacher that I'm working with,
it?
whom I can call him as mentor, I was clear all your subjects and go out with a good grade. You just need to do what I say. And I was a good student, following his orders, steps, all that.
You were like a
So
dream
somehow
student.
on his algorithms, on the correct dean student. Of course, I was not 100% good student, but 75-80% distinction student. I was. Okay, few things, yeah. Obviously, they slip, but yeah, most of the things I used to try to get in first persons who developed that algorithm where your speech will be converted to text.
Oh,
So back then it was amazing for me. Array, ऐसे भी हो सकता है क्या? So
it was like
it
a
was
game.
amazing. So that amazing thing, uh, correct. That bite that I took from his inspirations is what the genetic algorithm. So when I was see in your space currently, this is a gap that we have. What do you think? How do you think you can solve it? So that's where I thought, okay, we need to do all these things. And wherever I was, so I used to be resourceful when I don't know something. First, do a Google search, talk with friends, and then reach this guy because he's a PhD, all this. So he used to be busy on his own stuff. But yeah, so only a one single word. How much complicated things I'll go, you can just solve it in just one or two words. You just say, okay, you need to do this and this, and it'll speed up your growth. That's what happened when I
It
was a naughty
definitely
kid.
accelerates your journey and also it shows you the vision where you have to go, right? because
Correct.
you can run all your cylinders when you know the direction. But if you don't know the direction, then you'll only be running in loop and not achieving anything, even though you're running.
True. True. And life knocks you down just for the better of you. If it did not knock me down with four failed subjects, I wouldn't have met this teacher at all. I wouldn't have followed whatever he told. Even if I met also, I wouldn't have followed any of them
Correct,
because
correct.
now I'm scared that I'll fail in other subjects.
You don't want to
So
again
that
do the same mistake.
correct, correct. If I was not put in the hostel back then for my mischief, never ever people would know that my mischief is not mischief, it's curiosity, and this should be diverted in a positive way so that he can raise himself. That would not happen. So if I was not bad, I would not have reached good. If I did not fail, I would not reach here.
Correct, correct. So from your two stories, right, what I see is someone was there in your life to channelize your energy or give you a direction to your energy, to your inquisite, right? And that is what was helpful in both the scenarios, where you got the science teacher in your school days, and here where you got this mentor who would channel your energy. And
Correct.
why were you listening to the mentor was because you already had a failure, and again you were in defensive
Situations.
mindset. So
Correct.
because life put you in defensive mindset, you started listening to others. If you were not in
Correct.
defensive mindset, you would have not listened to the person as you should be. So I
Never,
would like
never.
so, and I think it is so similar to my life also, right? So what I feel is when I am driving high on the highway, I don't look at directions. I don't like looking at what is. Oh, I know the road, even though I may not be knowing it. It is just a rush of blood. But what I've realized is when life
Mhm.
knocks you down, right, and then when you try to get up, then you listen to people. That I have seen in my life.
Correct.
So I think
You're
if
correct.
something is not working for people, what they should do is just try to follow a person who is guiding you. At the worst, what
Yes.
could happen? You can go back to the same place. Nothing worse would happen. But if you don't
Mm.
trust that person and don't even follow, so you're not going anywhere,
Mm.
right? So I feel
True.
that is important, and just don't think that the other person doesn't know. See, it doesn't need to be best. So
Mm.
my faculty used to say, okay, I am like a direction board. I will not go in that direction, but I'll show you the direction. So the mentor
Mm.
who is guiding you or the coach who is guiding you, he does not need to be the world best person, or he might
Yes.
not know as much as you know, but he will give you the direction where you have to go. That is what is needed for you. He might not follow that direction. Doesn't matter,
Mm.
right? You just need a direction where you want to go. That is what it matters in life. Thanks, Vishnu. I think this will be really helpful. Maybe you want to go with
Mm.
third
Correct.
inflection point.
Yeah. Yes, yes. And to be frank, Ashwin, we should be very thankful for all the failures.
Correct.
So, failures will actually let you know that you are nothing, buddy. There is something more than that.
Correct.
So, that's when it will actually let. So, after my school success, so nationals, school leader, top in the class, all that thing, I got some kind of overheating. So, that's when I fell down in cloud computing, that's when I realized, okay, now my overheading is down, and that's when I could listen to people. Be thankful to all your problems. Knocking down is growing up.
Correct. Failures are like your brakes, which when turn
Correct,
comes, right, they just make you more stable and allow you to turn in
correct,
life. Yeah, right. Perfect. Perfect. Yes, Vishnu.
correct. And the third one is with respect to career.
Okay.
So then I got good companies. So few like companies like IBM. Of course, back then I tried for Google in my VIT. I did not get into Google, so I could not clear this. But I cleared IBM, Cognizant, Wipro, all the service-based companies I cleared. I cleared few startups also, one or two startups. I had no intention to go any startups at all. But I was almost ready to join IBM, and my cousin, he stays in US. He just told, "Hey, you're joining this company, right? Why are you joining?" I just told, out of all the companies, this one is a big branded company. That's why I'm joining. That's not the way you should choose a company. So the way you should choose a company is you should have learning there. Really, for me, coming out from college and joining job, to be frank, I want to skip all this education, earn money and have fun. Is that exact goal I had? No way I am not to learn new things. No way I wanted to be into again marks all this. No way. Uh, Wholeheartedly, I really didn't want to join IBM, like that startup company.
I
I wanted
think
to join IBM. Huh?
whoever pays you high, let's go to that company. Payment is important.
Huh. Payment is very
Everything else is
important.
immaterial.
Correct. So actually, IBM was paying 50,000 more than the startup guy. So I was fully fixed, and this guy living in US says everything. Why I should go work here? So I'm 2 days away to join IBM. All that. Uh, while just getting down from the bus, I fell down and had a fracture, and I could not join IBM. So they actually told that's okay. But instead of they hired me as a developer, but they actually changed my role to a support role kind of. So because of the delays, all that. So whatever reasons. Back then I understood. Okay, at least till this point I understood. Okay, if I'm a developer, I'll get more money. If I'm a support, I might not get more money. Again, everybody did a money fight. So the offer with the startup was still there. So I went there, joined them. As you told, it's all learning, right? Yeah, that's true. They screwed me off. I was not a developer there. I was all in one. I used to do testing, I used to do talking, I used to do developing. Sometimes midnights also I used to get up and talk to client. Arey wow, kya ho gaya re tere ko? It was like really I was
You get up from sleep and say, "Where did I land?" I was wanting to earning
yeah
money. What is this? Where am I?
true. But then there I got chance to speak with little senior folks. They are actually not just employees; they are thought leaders. I spoke with a person called Nagachuk Nathan. So this person is the key mind behind Kindle, Amazon Kindle. So he leads the project head of this whole Asia region of. Okay, back then he was working at a small company called Sierra Miti. Sierra Miti is the company, like those founders, right? Those are the people who first made the IRCTC app. You remember the
Correct.
back end full loading time?
Correct.
It takes hours. Yes,
Correct.
these guys are the one who made that.
We know
Okay,
now
back then they
into
did not.
God.
Back then they don't know this much load balancing all that. But now it evolved manifold. But those people did it. They got good things and they kept a company. So all this I understood after joining CRMIT. Okay, this is how an organization works. The head people doesn't do all that. They have a separate dedicated teams focusing on one and only one particular thing. HR person is not bothered about any delivery, any development, any issues. HR person is only bothered about getting good employees. Finance person is not bothered about anything. Even if people are not coming to office, also he doesn't bother. He's bothered only about money. So that's how they segregate things. That's how big companies work. So I got an autumn model of a big company. So that's when I understood, hey, even though I'm working for 9 to 5 today, if I can replicate something what those people done, I'll get into a stage where I don't need to work anymore for money, and now I can enjoy my life. Okay, so that's where this spark have started. But am I taking action? No, I'm scared. To be frank, to all my friends whom I told I want to keep a company, they're like, "Boss, you know how many companies have failed? You know, keeping a company is an easy task. Do you think there are many people who bankrupt and you know they are begging on roads?" Okay, so everyone talked about failures. If you talk about successful people like Reliance, Tata, and Ambani's, they disgrace you. Do you think you can really do that? अच्छा तू टाटा बन सकते क्या अंबानी बन सकते क्या अरे यार हाँ सच में वो लोग तो टॉप ऑफ द वर्ल्ड में, really I'm nothing in front of them बोल के like I did not get any support. So meanwhile of course I become a good worker, I'm a good software worker now. So that's when somehow Google guys saw me on LinkedIn, and I got a notification saying, hey, we have an opening for Google, and we saw your research also. It will be great if you are interested, if we can join. Like they invited me to join them. I did not apply for any jobs. I went there. Uh, this time took the interview seriously because remember in my VIT I lost it. This time I took it seriously and I made a plan. So how I should be cracking it. I could get in touch with few people because I'm passionate about cracking the Google interview. So it gave me resource automatically. Universe started sharing me resource. I started speaking with my bro in US, and he started few contacts. From there, I could get into actual developers who are working in Google. All that. So all that and made me understand the way Google interview works. So my gaps, what I need to handle. So here also, am I free? Am I easy? Is the runway clear for me? No. So this is time when it's a COVID peak time, and my wife is pregnant. And during my in Google we had 7 rounds. During my fourth round, my in the checkup they told my wife needs to undergo a surgery and we need to get the baby out immediately. So some
C-section.
levels are missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, C-section should be done. To be frank, I did not understand completely. What I understood is they need to do an operation immediately. That's what I understood. Okay, so my interview is going on. This side, this is going on, and on top of it's COVID. They're not allowing people. No hotels. I can't sleep on roads. I can't prepare for interviews, and all this happening. And I was just praying, God, get me out of this multiple kickings. Kick me, but one at a time, please, please. One. I was like, so my wife, she understood my problem, and she actually gave me a little bit of moral support, saying, "Hey, see, it's not that you need to be here all the time. Go and concentrate on your career. We have your parents, my parents, everyone are there, and my wife is also a doctor, so she's there enough. But I'm scared. Array, what will happen? She showed, see, everything is there, everything is in place. People will take care. You stop worrying. You stop crying first. So you go and concentrate on your interview and get the things. So yeah, I went concentrated whenever I just in the same hospital using some little bit influence. There was one more room. It's just like a small storeroom where there are, so that room I took. I of course I paid and I took that room. So there I used to prepare. If needed, I used to come out and see my kid and wife, talk the conditions, and again go back and prepare. So by God's grace, my kid, my wife, they're all safe. I got cleared in Google interview. I'm working for Google. All that is happening, and that's
So what I think is, God gives you spring, I guess. So the more troubles He
mm.
gives you, it's like pushing the spring down, down, down.
Oh
The
yeah,
more
yeah.
you have been pushed,
Fully
the
agree.
more you jump, the bigger things you get. So I think the moment now you get anything not going for you, you should be happy that something very good is happening for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I
The
also want to
pain,
know
Ashwin,
how.
it will be
Please go
like
ahead.
you will not. The pain will be so much like, अरे यार, क्या करूँ? Like they say, right? If you are facing a hardship, try to come out of it as early as possible. So I'll be facing all that, but I'll try to come out of it as early as possible.
So another thing what I see from your story, right, is never give up attitude, right? So there are situations which you cannot control. Yes, you get swayed by those situations, but again you course correct and say, okay, no, this is what the objective is, and this can be taken care of. Let's do it, right? So how many
Mm.
people do this, right? How many people they look for an excuse to give up, right?
Mm.
I no, this is the reason. That's why I'm not doing. So they like they say, right? Obsession is done by only two people, right? One who is obsessed to get something, or he is obsessed to make excuses why he's not there.
Mm.
So I
True.
feel you were the first part where you just wanted to get it. And I think this obsession is what one of your main points, strong pillars for your success so far.
Be prepared. If you are get started something, you will get bangs, you will get blows. Even though you are a person who took 100 blows, this time it's going to be 200 blows. Life will kick you like hell. You need to manage your job, you need to manage your interview, you need to undergo your wife giving birth to a baby, everything you need to. So yeah, while attending Google interview, I didn't leave my job, I was continuing that job and I was doing this. So it's multitasking, and the more and more pain you get, right, you become strong all around, mentally, physically, talking wise, ambition wise. It's you should be blessed to get so many blows.
That's why I think people talk about, okay, what is your failure resume? Because your failure resume says you what kind of a person you've become. If you have
Yes.
not failed much, then you have never tried. If you have never tried, then you have
True.
not become anything. You're the same person. You've never changed.
Yeah. Actually, these quotes are heard many times, but they're still true.
True.
They're so.
So, Vishnu, again, right, just on the closing terms, the main pillars for your success till now, and what do you think are the next few things which you would be doing to become far more successful than what you are now? Because life is a journey. Okay. So I was talking about, okay, what do you think are the main items which you were successful for, right? So what I have realized is when you're successful, you should always note why are you successful, because there will be times where you may not be doing those things and you will not be successful. So it's always
Hmm.
important to know why, what is making you successful. So what do you think? What are the things makes you successful?
Hmm. I developed this attitude that won't give up. So that's okay. You'll take some breaks. If you try to achieve it this year, maybe you may not achieve it this year, but don't stop. Maybe at least if you keep trying, maybe next year you'll achieve. That's what happened with my Google. I could not crack it in V8. Okay, so I thought I can, because now that I learned many things, I thought I can, but I did not. But later, it's exactly 4.5 years later, I cracked Google. Okay. I was looking at it, no. I was spending time at it, no. But when the opportunity came, when the opportunity itself knocked me and told, "Hey, you missed me, buddy," that's when I started. And this time, I'm not going to leave you. So I know, I just need to know where I went wrong and where. So to be frank, the simple thing, what Google guys were looking back then and even today, was only one thing: your problem solving skill. That's it. If you're a good coder, go to hell. We have many people. We don't need coders. In fact, they have few systems that can write code for you. Not a coder. We need a thinker. We need a. So I found I was not uh, doing good there. I improved myself. I polished my basics. And of course, they need coding as well. Of course, they need some coding ability, all that. You don't need to be an expert, but at least you can project them like, yeah, I can do it. I'm a person who can solve this. So that is needed. Never give up. Keep trusting on you. And if you have real gene and all that, right, automatically things will start falling in place. Automatically, I don't know. People call it law of attraction or anything. The God that you trust is always there with you, and He will be there in pushing all these things near and near. Of course, you may need to manage different things, take some blows, everything will happen. But take care, Ragnar, like don't leave it. Leave, keep moving little by little at least. You will reach it. So that's what even I'm doing now. Freelancing work. My home is like I need to move into that home by this August, and by August I have an important meeting to. All this is happening. Daily I'm taking out some time for passion projects, some time to work on my dreams. Okay, so give us, even if I don't do it a full day, even if I don't do it for 1 hour, at least I do it for 5 minutes. So that consistency is what I learned. I may not do it for 1 hour, which is a quality in the time that I spend and do. Even if I don't do it, I do it at least to 5 to 10 minutes and get it there, little by little, at least.
So, just for the audience, right? What givers means is every morning we work on gratitude. Then we worked on what is we imagine about ourselves, and V is what do you visualize. Visualization and imagination different thing, right? You can imagine that you're meeting a Bezos or maybe Michael Dell or someone else, right? But visualization is which you feel, which you touch about things, right? Like you feel that I'm there in the interview, I'm giving an interview, I'm clearing the interview, right? So something like that. And E is your exercise. Daily you should exercise. And R is reading. Every day you should read. If you're not able to read 10 minutes, oh, it's okay, 2 minutes. At least do 2 minutes of each of these things until you develop the habit. And then start increasing the duration. See, initially you will not find any benefits, but after 21 days or 1 month, they say, right, you will see a complete difference in your life. Things are coming, you're attracting things towards you where you want to be. Right, Vishnu? That is what we are talking about.
True, true. I'm the example.
Correct. And can you also talk about when you talk about problem solving skills, right? You were not good at it. How did you improve problem solving skills?
Yeah, that's a good question. So here, problem solving skills, Ashwin, there are many things like in our daily day-to-day life also we'll try to solve problems with respect
Okay.
to time management, with respect to financial management. All this we'll do. So when it comes to software industry, especially companies like Google, where they operate for millions and billions of people. So on YouTube there are around 1 point trillion people on YouTube every day. So here for them, making things to digging into minute levels is important. Like for example, you may write a simple code which has just one for loop, but if that for loop runs 10 crore times for everything, obviously by the time this guy gets a result, he'll be lost. So this is where your programmatic problem solving skills is what they are looking for. So those skills, how do you develop? How do you come into that? So instead of going for a for loop, so we use data structures and algorithm techniques there. So knapsack problems, all that. So using that, we try to reduce the loops. So instead of running for 10 crore times, even if I get it for 5 crore times, we just 50% save, right? So that's how we try to improve the code. It's all based on that. And these logics, these kind of analytic skills, we can use in our day-to-day lives as well. Especially this thing I use daily in my Bangalore traffic. To come out of this traffic, I figure out timings and paths where I can go around without hitting any traffic. Even though people are stuck for hours, I'm not stuck there. So that is all because of this small things.
Correct. Just to touch upon what Vishnu talk about when we are talking about 1 trillion, right? So I will give you an example because I am from financial space, right? So what happens is you get millions of records a day in an hour, right? How do you handle it? So how does your code efficiently handle it? It's not about just writing anything. It's about making sure that all these million records go through without seamlessly. Because the moment you have a glitch, the response time increases, and the customer attention
And you
span is
lose
only
money.
1 to 3 seconds, right? So the moment you're taking another millisecond more, the customer is gone, right? So it has such big ramifications on companies. So that is why Google, Amazon, and others look at problem solving skills in terms of what you're doing. Do you know what you're doing? You know its repercussions, right? It's just not about writing a follow. Why you're writing it, how you're writing it, and is this the right scenario for writing it? Right, Vishnu? That is what we are talking about, right? But not the last breath, it's for the coming breath. See, this is what
True.
I've learned, right? So, great Grant Candon, right? What he says is success is not one time achieved, it is to be lived continuously. So, you cannot focus on
Mm.
what your previous breath was, what is your next breath coming in. So, Vishnu,
Mm.
what are you doing for your next success, and what do you think will take you there? What skills or habits?
Yeah. Yes, Ashwin. So firstly, thanks for explaining the giver part. So the giver that we practice, right? Gratitude, imagination, visualization, exercise, and this. So these actually boost your mental stability. So in a day, many things will be happening, many things will be losing, many people will appreciate you, many people will discourage you. Everything will happen, and especially if you are into a 9 to 5 job people category, right? So there are many frustrated people who cannot live the life they want. So to get out of this frustration, or at least to create a shield around yourself, that none of these frustrations will influence you and you can focus on what you want to do. So for that purpose, givers help. Okay. So they clean your road actually. So from there, what I'm doing. So all these years, I was working on a customer relationship management tool, and I know using this tool, I can help a good number of people. That too, I saw because I'm from a village background, and for good treatment, good education, and even for good food, people need to travel to a good to a nearby big places. Okay, and 90%, at least 60-70% of the Indian population is from those villages. So where their incomes would be less, and their expenditures when they go to any nearby cities, it will be high. So of course we cannot address all of them, but what I can address is try to give them a health security with the help of an health insurance. So they need to pay a nominal amount, something as equivalent as just going and buying a small snacks in the evening. So this small amount will not only help them, it helps their dependents and their family people, their parents also. If something unexpected happen,
So thank you,
we,
Vishnu. Just on the parting note, right? I just wanted to say, right, success is not something which is oblivion. Success is infinite. Success is not limited. Success is